Hi there everyone, welcome to Creative Coloring with Erum. Let's add a ton of texture and create a dramatic, bold, gorgeous floral card that everyone raves about. Stay tuned. I will use the Craft-a-Flower Coreopsis Layering Die Set. And these are the lovely cardstock I will use today to create the project. They're all gorgeous, but I will use ink to enhance the depth of the die cuts. I will use Rubellite cardstock for the flowers and the base of the flower center. For the petal-like shape at the center and the top layer of the flower center, I will use pink diamond cardstock. For the leaves, I will use Aqualicious cardstock. I will use Raspberry and Cosmic Berry Fresh Dye Inks to ink the flower centers, starting by adding Raspberry at the center and spreading it outwards, avoiding the tips of the petals. We want the bit of the cardstock to show. Then I will add the Cosmic Berry in the center to add more depth. I will do this for all the flower layers. Then I will move on to the base of the flower and add a hint of inking to them as well. For the pink diamond die cuts, use the leftover ink from the blending brush with a very light hand just on the edges of these pieces. You want them to be lighter than the rest of the layers. And for the leaves, I will use Emerald Fresh Dye Ink and apply that to almost the entire piece, leaving the tips slightly light. I will come back to these leaves later. Next, I will apply the same Emerald Fresh Dye Ink to the entire periphery of the teal cave panel. This panel is the size of the card front. Now that the flowers have slightly dried, I will use one of the fine watercolor brushes, the end of one, and curl the petals carefully. This is your choice to curl the petal inwards or outwards. I am doing this to add dimension and texture. Once done, adhere the pieces with liquid adhesive, following the keyhole system. Going back to the leaves, to add a bit of visual texture, I will add clean water splatters onto the die cuts. Let this sit for a couple of seconds and then blot them with tissue paper. Doing this will separate them from the solid-looking background and florals. Another way to add subtle texture is to bring in a press plate. I'm using Rustic Burlap press plate and embossing ink to add the imprint. Whenever I use regular cardstock, I use the packaging from one of the dies from Altenew as a shim to achieve that letterpress look. I have dedicated this as a shim for the letterpress system for my regular cardstocks. You will see that I end up with a beautiful texture even though this isn't your cotton cardstock. Next, if needed at this point, you can add more ink to the edges of the panel. I added more of the Emerald Fresh Dye Ink and then Jet Black Dye Ink as well. The Jet Black was at the extreme edges. I lost a bit of footage, but here I used one of the circle dies from the Halftone circle nesting dies out of Aqualicious cardstock, embossed it using the Masonry wall 3D embossing folder, another texture element, then used a foam blending tool to ink this using the Emerald and Dark Night dye inks. This added more texture to the project and also gave me a base for the floral arrangement. After this, I added the circular element to the card front with instant dimension foam tape. Then adhered the leaves with liquid adhesive. And then the flowers with foam tape as well to add more dimension. To add bling, I placed the pink tourmaline gem sparkles as the flower centers and they matched perfectly with the cardstock and looked beautiful. I also heat embossed a sentiment from the Elegant Sayings stamp set in platinum embossing powder. I did not add additional splatters so that the texture from the press plate, embossing folder and the leaves was clearly visible. I hope you like the project. I love how this turned out. I love the colors on this as well. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.
Hello there! Did that video just spark your creativity? And do you want more project ideas and inspiration videos too? Well, if you do, please make sure that you subscribe to the Altenew YouTube channel. Also, make sure that you do click that notification bell so you don't miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.